vortex. Should I get off at this exit, or should I go to the next exit? Choice and capitalism and women. People really aren't satisfied with the choices that they make, you know? And so it's actually kind of cruel to give people more choices, because if they're not smart and if they're not self-aware, they're probably not going to be capable of making good decisions for themselves. And I actually think that this whole country is just one giant experiment to see how much they can manipulate us into doing the exact wrong thing. And the powers that be get their little rocks off because we're convinced to do something that's contrary to what's good for us. And they're playing God so like they can make it happen, but we're still the one ultimately making the decision. So let's just say that there's stuff that they dump into the water supply. Let's just say that. And let's just say that that stuff makes people gay. Let's just say that it influences people's hormones. Not just that, but then you have all these universities that are constantly promoting like LGBT propaganda. And then you have all these celebrities that have kids that supposedly are transgender. Okay? All this stuff is happening at the same time. And then you have social media. You have all these apps that people are constantly accessing on their person at all times that are promoting these political ideologies, as I like to call them. I think the whole point of this is to prove how much they can control, like how easily manipulated everybody is. And I was talking to my friend Judson last night, and we were just going on and on about the food industry and like just how shitty this country truly is because of all the food. Like there's no other country as bad as this one when it comes to what's in our food. But, you know, the saying, you are what you eat, it's like, that's why they do it. Because they want everybody to be genetically modified. That's why they push all the stuff that they do in the public school. It's like so easy for them to get everybody through the public school system. And very few people break that conditioning. Now, I always thought it was fucked up that they forced us to recite the Pledge of Allegiance at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I thought that was total like indoctrination, which is why I stopped doing it. But yeah, most people, it doesn't even cross their mind that that's indoctrination, you know? But I feel like that, because of like how ritualistic it is, was like way more obvious to me. But, you know, history I always kind of figured that they were lying to us about that shit. I mean, how could we ever really know all of it? You know? It's just like we're being taught the history that they want us to know because it helps them. It helps their fucking agenda. So they can control the future if they tell us what happened in the past, you know? It's like what Orwell said about who controls the present, controls the whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? Who controls the future, controls the past, or some shit like that. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Like, if you can control somebody's childhood, you can control their adulthood. So that's why they do it. That's why they have so many multifaceted efforts to control children. But I was always a rebellious little kid. I don't know. I don't even see it as rebellious. It's just like, why? You know, if you ask any question, like, people act like you're like rebelling. It's like, why does it have to be rebelling? Now you're making me want to rebel because you're putting up such a fuss about me just questioning something, which leads me to believe that that something is fucking stupid, or nobody has any idea why we're fucking doing it, you know? But America is like indoctrination. Indoctrination. It's the fucking epitome of brainwashing. Which is why people go on and on about how we're so lucky to have freedom, even though most of the people that live here are so retarded, it's not even funny. And they've been retarded through, like, the stuff that they have chosen to do based off of things that they were convinced were right or normal that aren't right or normal. So, I don't care what people do or don't do as long as they can defend it in a way that makes sense. You know, a lot of people are defensive about stuff, but they don't have a good defense because they're just emotional about it. And if you're emotional, then that means that you're not really doing something or not doing something on your own volition because you've really thought it through and you can reason with yourself. But yeah, when it comes to politics and when it comes to, you know, medical decisions and education, things like that, people get so defensive about it because they've just been brainwashed their entire life. And so that's their natural reaction whenever they're around somebody that, you know, questions that. But yeah, I guess it's just really depressing, like, when you think about, like, how many people have just accepted that, you know. That's why Jesus said, you can't be a prophet in your own country. They'll probably vote to crucify your ass.